Riley Chow from Gold Derby here with Dame Helen Mirren, an actress soon to be best known for appearing in an episode of Amazon's sci-fi anthology, Solos. Now, your episode sees you strapped in on a spaceship for its duration. How do those constraints shape your performance?
What, of being strapped in, sort of
Yeah.
thing? You know, this is about a journey into someone's mind and memory. The physicality of it really is immaterial in a sense. The big adventure, the big journey is happening within the brain, as opposed to, outwardly. But the situation, the physical situation of filming it was actually very helpful towards my imaginative journey, because we shot it during really the height of the pandemic lockdown. So we were under very strict protocols, COVID protocols, which was very isolating, much more so than it would have been normally, where I could wander off and get a cup of tea and chat with the cameraman. I was isolated. I couldn't talk to anyone. The director couldn't even come close to me to give notes or anything. So it was as if I was in a little pod hurtling out into space. It was quite valuable for me like that, actually. Also, I had a great costume. Had this fabulous leather jumpsuit. It was so gorgeous, and it fitted me, and I felt really good in it. So that was a help too.
Yeah, it's a striking color. How long did it take to film this episode?
I think we had 3-day shoot. I think it was a 3-day shoot, something like that. Maybe only 2 days. I can't remember exactly now. I do know that we did obviously many takes, but the majority of the takes we literally did for the whole thing all the way through without stopping. So unlike most filmmaking where you do the little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, we did the whole thing all the way through, from this angle and from that angle and from that angle. But I found doing it, I couldn't chop it up because everything was so interrelated. There was no point that I could sort of start it from. So I mostly did it from beginning to end, on each take.
Yeah, it's a very different setup than most TV shows. I'm wondering what surprised
Well,
you about.
film, it's not a TV show. That's a slight misnomer. This is a piece of filmed drama, whether it, wherever its outlet finishes up, that's kind of what it is, I would say.
All right, film drama. Uh, I'm wondering what surprised you about filming it, about the setup.
The big difference was because of COVID, and so, working under those sorts of protocols where you, as I said, you couldn't talk to anyone on the set. You couldn't have a sense of that community, of that sense of family that you normally have when you're filming, or when you're doing a theatre, a piece in the theatre. There's always this real sense of family. And that couldn't exist within the protocols of COVID. But of course, that was very valuable for me, because she has let go of everything. She is out there on her own. So, it actually really worked for the piece that we were doing.
Now, your character Peg, she talks about her family, her friends. I'm wondering, when you're talking about these kind of specific characters that you're describing, do you have somebody in mind, somebody that you know or somebody that you don't know?
No, with Peg, no, I didn't really. Sometimes with a character, yes, you have to sort of think about, oh, she's like that woman who works in the laundrette, yes, that's what she's like. You find someone that you can sort of begin to hang the character on. But with Peg, no, I didn't feel that at all. I think with Peg, I excavated a part of my own character that is quite hidden and quite um, covered up, it's hidden. And how, I mean, I think if I hadn't become an actress, I might have, I am a little bit like Peg. I am by nature a little bit apologetic, and I'm so sorry I exist kind of feeling about myself. um, uh, and that was very much Peg's, but she never overcame it. I've overcome that by becoming an actress as much as anything. But I think it was more a question of excavating that side of my own personality.
And finally, are you aware of the context of the larger series, how your episode fits into it?
No, I haven't seen any of the other work. All I know is that we have this common theme of David, our writer and showrunner, and his sensitivity and his intelligence and his incredible writing ability, which is the thing that holds us all together. But I haven't seen any of the other pieces. I can't wait to see them. I'm sure they're all really, really interesting.
Yeah, yours has a fun connection. So yeah, Helen, thanks very much for chatting.
Pleasure.